Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. My name is Steve Woody and I'm really excited to be bringing you this guide on Star Citizen. This is patch 3.23.1 on the PTU, and the reason that we're in the test server is it's a little bit more stable at the moment. I know that's not normally the case, but I wanted to make sure I got this content out to you early and before you had a chance to play it on live, and I'm excited. Now, we're going to do something a little bit different today as well. Something a little bit different to normal. So we're going to create a brand new account. This has all been wiped. There may be some stuff we have to remove, some stuff that's been left over, but we're going to do kind of a zero to hero adventure. Talk about all the pros and cons of the game. Some of the bugs that you can expect to find. Manage your expectations, but also give you an idea of how you can enjoy this. And I say game. You have to understand with Star Citizen, there's a game that's being built, and that's called Squadron 42, and there's kind of a simulator, a space simulator, which is Star Citizen. So it's more of a simulator than a game. I would say it's more of an open world space sandbox kind of environment, but that's what we're going to jump into today. So I'm going to assume that you've watched my other videos. If you haven't, you might want to start there. Those videos are going to give you an overview to the controls and how to set them up, the user interface, how that works, how to get started and purchase your first ship for the cheapest amount of money possible, because you don't need to spend a lot of money to get into this game, so that's key. And also that you have an understanding of how the system is set up, the 4 main planets, and also I did a tour of those 4 main planets. And so I'm going to assume you've been through that content. And I'm not going to go through that here. We're just going to jump straight into the game here. So clicking on Persistent Universe, we're first going to go into our character creation screen. We're going to try and keep these videos to about an hour in length so that they're not too long for you. We're going to go ahead. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time here, but we can change our character. We can go ahead and sculpt our character, make them look however we want them to look. Now that they do come out a little bit green sometimes, but yeah, we can sit there and change the DNA, the eye color, all that good stuff. We can even go ahead and change the hair, find something a little bit more, like me, I guess. In terms of the facial hair, I can remove that if I want to. I kind of think this guy needs a little bit of facial hair. He's kind of struggling without it, but yeah, we can choose kind of where we want to go with this, what we want to give him. But I think at the moment we're gonna go without. Eyebrows, we can also change those, but that kind of works. Styling, we can change the eyes and all the other stuff there. We can do that as well. We can even, change the facial features, really kind of change the way this hero looks. Kind of give him a bit more of a chiseled look if we want to. Bring all of this in. So that's going to be our character. We're going to just leave it as that for now. You can go as crazy as you want with this, but we're going to go ahead and click save. We can go over to review as well. It'll ask if we want to finalize a character. We can save it. If I do, I give it a name. I'm just going to go ahead and call myself Steve. Save that character, and then I can accept it. So now that character has been accepted, it's going to ask me if I want to play the tutorial. Now, if this is the first time you have played this game, I do recommend playing a tutorial. We're going to go ahead and do that today for the purpose of this video. I do recommend it. It's going to set your primary residence to your selected starting location, but you'll be unable to access your purchase ships until you've completed a tutorial. That's fine. So the purchase ships are just anything you've paid real money for. And that's what we're going to start here with, absolute basics, and work up from that. So let's go ahead and play the tutorial. This is the first thing we're going to need to do. This is a persistent universe, which means that this is consistently saving and expanding. It's always going to be there. The data is always going to be there. And so they will do system wipes every now and again, but things like items, any paid ships that you've paid real money for, they will all persist. But things like your progress, your character level, things like your contracts that you've completed, also any money you've acquired, in some cases any ships you've acquired, and sometimes items as well will be reset, but items predominantly I found they persist and have done for years. So we're going to go ahead and select our system. We're going to go to the Stanton system because that's the only system we can start in. Now, there are 4 options here. There's Lorville, Orison, Area 18, and New Babbage. If this is your first time playing, then I recommend setting New Babbage as your starting location. Any of them will work, and if I was a player coming back to this, I would probably go for Area 18. I think that's got some some better options. It's definitely more in the middle of the system. And then there's going to be more systems in the future. There's 3 new systems that we're aware of. There's Pyro and others as well. So there'll be other systems. But we're going to start in the Stanton system in New Babbage. I think for a beginner, this is the best place for you to learn the game. So we're going to go ahead and click Play Game. All right, are you sure? Because this will become your primary residence. That means that what will happen is everything will come back to this location. Now, you can reset your primary residence when there is a wipe. When there is a wipe, they will allow you to reset your primary residence, and all of your items that you've established throughout will go to your primary residence. You can change where you spawn, but your primary residence will be set. So just consider that. And it says, please select the starting location for your character. Not only will you initially spawn here, but this location will serve as your primary residence where your ships and items will be stored. Any future items or ships that are purchased on the website or gifted through programs like Subscriber Flare, etc. will be delivered to this location. So that's fine. We're going to confirm New Babbage as our home. And that's it. We're now going to load into this game. Now remember, this is the PTU, so this is slightly ahead of the current live version that is out there. But with that being said, everything that you experience and see here is pretty much what you're going to experience and be playing when this video is published. So there's nothing here that shouldn't make it into the live version of the game. It's a pretty stable build at the moment. There are still some bugs and a few things to consider. It's just part of the game. And this is something that's been building now for over 10 years. Over 10 years this has been building. And I think the sort of total budget now is somewhere in the region of about $700 million that they've raised over that decade. It's more than 10 years now. So they've had a lot of time to build this. And whilst it's still in early access, it has come a long way. So we need to just consider that. So we're in a tutorial here and it says, welcome to Star Citizen tutorial, your first steps. Again, I'm going to assume that you understand the basics. We're going to press Y to stand up, and it's going to tell us about basic movement. So we can move around using W, A, S, and D. But as we move really, really slow. So the first one we're going to do is middle mouse wheel up, and that is going to allow us to move much faster. That's really key at the moment. So using that middle mouse wheel, we're going to allow us to now move around. It says mobiglass journal, so to access that we're going to press F1. So it says press F1 to be able to open this up. Alright, and these are all the different things that we're going to be able to look at. So here we can see we've got the home, we've got our health, we've got the comms, we've got any contracts that we're going to be working at. We're currently on one at the moment that says we need to exit our bed, open our mobiglass and check our journal. Or we've got maps as well. This is all new and really cool to look at. Assets, rep, wallet, landing, and vehicles. So assets, just not really much in there at the moment, but that shows us where our assets are going to be. If I open up Microtech and I open up New Babbage, it's going to show me a few placeholders and just a couple of things that we've got. If I look at reputation, there won't be any yet. We haven't got a career. There's no reputation here at this stage. Wallet is if I want to send money to friends. Landing is just if I'm on the vehicle maintenance app, so that doesn't matter at the moment. And then any vehicles that we've got, we can select our ships. And at the moment, you can see here, so the RSI Aurora MR is my main ship. That is my ship. I did upgrade the package. So this was, I paid $50 for this. This is a Game Pass. I talked about it in a previous video. So that RSI Aurora that I have there, that is basically allowing me to be able to access the game. But I paid an additional $40, so $90 in total. And I upgraded to the Origin 315p. I did get myself a Grey Cat STV and a hover quad. They were part of a referral scheme, but they don't matter. We're going to ignore all of those. The only thing we're going to be using in this video is the RSI Aurora MR. Now, I do have a crazy amount of money that I need to get rid of, and I'll be getting rid of that very soon because I'm going to start from zero. But I've got no assets or nothing else. I need to click on Journal. Alright, tutorial. Welcome to the verse. Here we go. You have just stepped 930 years into a future where humanity has spread across the stars under the rule of the United Empire of Earth, the UEE. Whilst many humans spend their lives never leaving their homeworld, there are those of us who choose to travel aboard advanced starships, braving outlaws, hostile aliens, and hazardous conditions to seek their fortune. Currently, you are in New Babbage on Microtech, the 4th planet in the Stanton system. a great distance from humanity's origins in the Sol system. The 4 planets in the system are owned by megacorporations who each purchased a planet from the UEE, and they now govern their own region of space. They are Hurston Dynamics, Crusader Industries, Arc Corp, and Microtech. New Babbage is a luxurious domed city that serves as a corporate headquarters to Microtech, the leading computer and software developer. In the Empire, best known for making the mobiglass. From here, the tutorial will guide you to Port Tresla, the space station in orbit above the planet that can serve as your gateway to further exploration of the Stanton system. Well, that's actually what we want to do here. So it takes about 5 minutes to leave your either your medicenter or your accommodation to go on the train, because you actually have to physically move. So to go onto the train, to get to the space station, to get out of the orbit, takes about between 5 to 10 minutes. So by going up to Port Tresla and using the space station, we can be from spawn to ship to space within about a minute or 2. So it's a much quicker process, which is why we're going to do that. Alright, so we're going to close this down. Alright, interaction mode. Press F in any of the highlighted items. So we're going to walk up to the door and we're going to press F to open up the door. That door should open. Oh. No, it's not letting us at the moment. Alright, sorry, I can't leave. I can't leave, and the reason I can't leave is because I've got to eat something. So here's a drink. If I press F, just press it once, I will carry the water. And now I can drink this water. So you can see in the bottom right, it tells me what I can do here. So it tells me I can drink. If I press I, alright, I is going to give me some information. So I've actually got some items here. You won't have these items. I've got them because I think I couldn't get rid of them. I couldn't get rid of them. These are paint jobs. These paint jobs I can put onto my skins of my ships. These are just, unfortunately, I can't drop or dump these. But I can't sell them or get rid of them either. These are from something I did in the past. So they're just too big to put anywhere. So just ignore those things, because all of those things there, they just need to be removed. So your inventory is going to be pretty much empty. Now, at the moment, one of the things I don't have on is a helmet. You can see here I've got my legs on, I've got my body armor on. So I started off with some kind of core gear here. But we're going to actually remove all of that. We're going to start off with absolutely nothing. That's one of the things we're going to do here. So in order to do this, we just got to go through this tutorial. So we're going to take a drink, which it's telling us to do. There we go. So we hold that to drink, left mouse button. All right, nice. We've had a drink. So we can now see on the bottom left-hand corner, it's telling us that we're hungry. If I press F1 and go to my health, it also tells me, so here we can see hunger and hydration. So we're now fully hydrated, but we are a little bit hungry. So we're going to eat a burrito. So we're going to press F just to pick that up. And we can go ahead and left mouse to eat that. Again, you have to take your visor off. I believe Alt and H is what you would use. So there we go, helmets. With the helmet in your hab highlighted, so I've got to find it. There it is, there's the helmet right there. So this is a helmet, it's in a box. All items look like this in boxes, so I can click and pick this up. Alright, so now I've picked it up, I can equip it. I equip it by left clicking, or I store it by right clicking. Okay, so I can select equip by left clicking, and it's going to put it on. Tutorial complete, your first steps. And now if I press I, you can see I've got my helmet on. So I could take that helmet off and put it in my inventory, or I can put that helmet on by clicking and dragging it onto me. I can also, if I want to, hold down Alt and I can press the key to get rid of that as well. So, interact with a door with a hab when you're ready to leave. There we go, so now I can leave. Alright, so using the map that I can see in the top left, I'm going to head to the stairs, I'm going to take the elevator, I'm going to go down to the lobby. Call the elevator by pressing F. And if I press and hold F, I can then look and I can then use my mouse to interact. And I'm going to do that in a second. So we're going to go inside. Now, because I don't just want to press F because there's multiple options, I press and hold it, use my mouse, and I can click on the floor I want. Very nice system, very clean. Alright, so we're heading downstairs now. And we're going to head out to the lobby area here. So we're going to view the area of the map so we can see that. So we're going to look at the map, we're going to head over here. It says we've got to look at this map. Alright, so here we go. So, cities and space stations are filled with signs to help guide you. You can also access a map on your mobiglass by pressing F2. Now, F2 unfortunately doesn't work for me. I have to press F1 and then I have to click on maps. But yours will be F2. And then I can zoom in and out and you can see here, this shows me where I am, where I can go. And if I want to go to an area, I can drag across. I can simply just press R to set a route to this area. Very nice. Alright, I press F1 to close this down. Use the shopping kiosk at Keltel. That's where it's asking me to go. So it's telling me to come over here. And if you look on the map in the top left, because I've set a route, you can see it's directing me towards that. Okay, so there we go. I've made it to that route. It's now disappeared. I'm at the Kelto, the shopping kiosk. So I'm going to come inside. Any building where you can go inside, you can just buy stuff directly off the wall if you want to. Or you can come up to these displays. So you've got two options. I can buy this just by clicking on it and buying it from here. And here there's some food. So we've got drinks. Again, very easy for us to buy drinks. These are the ones you want to buy. The Cruise Darks. They're the best ones to buy. I quite like and often buy these blue ones. But this is just water. But these ones, you want to buy these. These are nice and cheap. Alright, but we're going to click on here. Alright, so with things that we can buy here, we can have a look around. Now, we can buy, if we wanted to, we go to all categories. We can buy weapons, undersuits, armor, clothing. Lots of different stuff here. So we don't really want to buy any clothing. If we're looking at armor, we can actually buy here. They've got a backpack. So we can go ahead and quick buy a backpack if we want to. Lots and lots of stuff. I've got a huge balance as well. Huge balance, but I'm not going to spend anything. If I want to move away, I just step back and it will disconnect. Alright, so I'm not going to buy anything here. Not going to buy anything at all. In fact, if I press I can actually kind of get rid of most of this stuff. So this is going to be some light armor. So I can actually decide if I want to get rid of the light armor. These are legs. I can get rid of the legs if I want to. These are the arms. I can get rid of the arms. And now I just have the undersuit and I have a helmet. If ever you die and you respawn, you'll start in a medical gown. But you will be given a basic spacesuit. Just a very basic spacesuit, which is just going to be a helmet and an undersuit. Now there's not really much you can do at this stage with this. In fact, just this alone is not going to allow me to do anything. So I do want to get rid of the credits that I've got at the moment. I have a lot of credits and I kind of want to get rid of them. So what I would need to do is I would actually need to find somebody so I can press enter and I can talk in Honey Chat and say, hey, anyone here? Now there may not be anyone online at the moment, especially not in this test server. But if there's not, that's fine. If there is, you can add somebody as a friend if there's anyone here. And then you can gift them credits. So I can give all my credits away. But in order to do that, I'd actually need to find someone to be my friend. Now it's telling us to go down to the metro loop. So we're going to head down. Can you add me as a friend? I want to give you all my money. I'm trying to start from 0. Alright, so let's see if they do it. There is somebody online. Herodias, Calidor. There we go. So hopefully he's going to add me as a friend. If he does, we'll... I want to show you what it looks like when someone friend requests you. So you can walk up to somebody. You can also type their name in to do that. But there you go. There's a friend request. We're going to accept that by pressing the bracket button. Alright, we've added that friend now. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to press F1. And we're going to go across to our wallet. Alright, we're going to begin the transaction. We're going to click the person that we've got. And we're going to send our money to them. So let's send the amount. We're going to send to them 15,052,183. We're actually going to send them everything we've got. Now, that's actually going to cost more than we've got. So we're going to have to go a little bit less than that. So maybe we'll go for... let's go for 49. There we go. So... Okay. We're just trying to find what we can get away with here. So... Okay, 29. Yep. 295.99. Can't do 99, 98, 97, 96. There we go. That is the maximum amount. We're going to send that to this person now. All right, we've just sent them all of that money, and we are now at 0. We are now at 0. So we have no money left. There we go. And he said thank you. Alright, it was only 15 million, but I hope it helps. There we go. So now we're going to press F12, and that is going to allow us to remove that chat. So F12 allows you to bring out the chat, or you can remove the chat if you don't want it as a distraction. If I press F1, and I click on comms, I can also see this chat. I can also click on friends, and it will show me my friend. I can click on this person, I can right click on them, and I can now remove them from friends. If I don't want to have any friends, or I don't want to add anyone, or if I wanted to add somebody, I could also add a friend here. So you've got the opportunity to do that as well. So I can look for these members on here. These are all the members that are here. I can right click on them, and I can send a friend request. If I'm close to them, I can actually send them a friend request as well. So you can manage your channels, you can change colours and everything like that. There's a lot you can do here. And yeah, that's pretty much it for now. So we're going to close this down. Alright, we have no money. We have no money. We do have some basic items, but again, we're not going to use these basic items. We're just going to go with 0 money. Again, we can't delete some of these items. Because we're in an armistice zone, we can't drop it. It won't let us drop it in an armistice zone. But these items are too big to be able to put just anywhere. We have to have a special container to be able to house these, and we don't have the ability to do that at the moment. So we're not worried. It's not a problem. It's just one of those things. There's just a few little items there, but we can just ignore them. We can just ignore them. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So everything there all looks good. Everyone's happy. Let's carry on. All right. So now what we need to do is we need to head down to the metro loop. So we're going to do that right now. And we're officially poor. We have no money at all. We have nothing. Nothing at all. So we're going to wait for the train. It's going to arrive.
Stand clear of disembarking passengers.
Sometimes takes up to a minute to arrive. We've got to make sure we're going the right way. It says spaceport. That's where we want to go. So jump onto the train, and now we just need to wait. So we're going to give it a minute for the train to head off. What's also important here is if I remove my helmet, you'll see with my helmet taken off, which is Alt and H, the map in the top left turns to a small, or to a circle in the top left. If I put my helmet back on, it turns to a square. You can see the difference. So the square means we have a helmet on, the circle means we do not. It's just a nice visual representation, because if you go outside and there's no atmosphere and you don't have a helmet on, you're going to die. Alright, so it's currently night time. If we go ahead and look behind us, there's New Babbage. We can see it there. It looks pretty cool. We're going out across the frozen lake at the moment. It's night time, so it's hard to see, but we're actually going across the frozen lake. And then above us there, that is the spaceport. So we're heading towards it. If you're up in space looking down, it's to the towers with the 3 red dots, 3 red towers to the right of New Babbage. That's how you would identify it. Alright, so we're going to exit at the MB International Spaceport. We're almost there, so we'll just come to the door. The graphics, the feeling, everything around this game does create this immersion. It's really beautiful and it's really cool. But it does sometimes bug out a little bit, and you just need to bear in mind. But overall, quite good. So we're going to head over towards the exit here. We're going to go upstairs. It's actually telling us where to go, which is nice. And now it's telling us we need to locate a fleet manager terminal. So we need to call the elevator. So we just press the button. There's 6 doors. They're all the same. They're all the elevators that go up. So it doesn't matter which one we call. Just need to wait for a door to open. Head inside, and we're going to press and hold F, and we're going to go up to the NBIS terminal, away from the empty metro loop. Alright, very nice. Alright, so now we're up here, we're going to run through. We're actually following that tutorial again still. It's guiding us on where to go, which is nice. So we're going to run all the way through here. It looks like it's deceiving, but it's quite straightforward. You can't get lost. There's only one way to go here, and we're up. So now we turn around on ourselves, and the hangars are on the right here. We come through here, and we go up to one of these terminals. This is your fleet manager. Just press F. And now we actually only have, because we don't have access to the ships that we've purchased, and the reason for that is because we're doing a tutorial. If you're not doing a tutorial, you will have access to the ships you've purchased. So I'm going to click deliver, request a delivery. It's here. I can retrieve it. It's in hangar 5. Alright, so now I head over to the elevator, call the elevator, and we're going to choose hangar 5. So hangar 5. Alright. And we're going to take the elevator to the tutorial ship's hangar. Very good. So we're learning the basics of the game right now. This is the ship. Alright, so it says board the ship. So we're going to come across to the side here. Have a look around. And then when we're ready and we're ready to go in, all we're going to do is come up to the back of the ship and we're going to press this button to open the ship. There we go. The back opens. And in we go. This is it. We're in. Alright, now we're in the ship. If we want to, we can close this, because anybody else at any point can come and, if they wanted to, they can come and jump on board once the back's down. So now we're secured. We're going to jump into the ship. And there's a few things we need to do. Now you can follow the controls in the bottom right, and I've done a completely separate video. I'm going to assume you understand how to manage this, so we're just going to turn the power on. Once we've turned our power on, we're then going to turn our thrusters on. We're going to request a takeoff. You are clear to launch. Now, what I haven't done here, and actually what I do need to do, is I haven't actually set off my controls. So I need to set my controls up. I haven't done that at the moment, so yeah. We're just going to head out. Mouse and keyboard. Right, now we want to toggle the landing gear, because that's going to allow us to go faster. And there's two different modes. We've got SCM guns. But if I press B, I double press B, it turns us into navigation mode. Navigation mode allows us to move a lot quicker. If our landing gear is up and we're in navigation mode, we're going to move a lot quicker. So what we need to do right now is we need to follow these checkpoints, alright? This is actually going to get us to move. So I'm just using mouse and keyboard at the moment, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. So there we go. We can do this. We can also use a boost if we want to go a little bit quicker. We can turn our speed up. And we don't want to go too fast, because we don't want to crash. There we go. We're going to hit that checkpoint. So we've done that. Now it's asking us to go up. So now we're going to head up here. So we're going to mouse wheel up, and that turns the square up to make us go full speed. We're going to hold down shift to give us that boost. And we're just going to orientate ourselves so we're going in the right direction. So now we're going to leave the planet. Alright. Nice. Very easy to be able to move up. There's our checkpoint over there. Okay, so we've used up all of our boost. We're going to keep heading up. I'm going to follow these checkpoints. Okay, there's our next one. Now we don't have to do this. You can just literally aim straight up. But this is kind of getting you used to the controls and allowing you to move in a specific direction. Just teaching you how to fly, basically. So we're going to boost. Alright, there's another checkpoint we're going to work towards. And the further out we get into space, the faster we go, because the less resistance on atmosphere there is. We'll use that boost, go a little bit faster. Making sure that landing gear is up, that's critical to moving fast, and making sure we're on the nav settings as opposed to the combat settings. Alright, now we need to be able to use our quantum travel to reach Port Tresla. So what we're going to do is we're just going to hover over where it is that we want to go. Alright, that should allow us to quantum travel. Okay, we're going to head back to nav. We should be scanning this. It's actually not scanning at the moment. What we can do is press F1. And then sometimes, there we go. And then if we go back again, it's now letting us scan. So it wasn't calibrating before, but it should do. Now, yellow is a check mark, which means it's part of an objective. So we can use the yellow check marks and we can quantum port 2 yellow check marks. But if you wanted to do it a different way, you could press F1. You could go to maps. On the maps, you can search the location you're looking for. Now, we can type it in here, Port Tresla, and it shows us where we're going, or we can use the map to find it. Once we've got it, we can press R, which will set a route. So press R to set a route. There we go. That route has now been set from where we are to Port Tresla. And if we come back out now, it'll be blue. We'll actually have a blue outline. So now this is where we want to go. We want to quantum engage. So we're going to left click. And that's going to take us here. There we go. So now we're almost here. So it says we can't quantum travel because we're too close. So we're just going to head forward now. And this is that space station we were talking about. Now if you can see the inverted brackets that are just below, kind of in the middle of the screen there where I'm looking. This is where we're aiming. So if I aim off, you can see it takes a little while. So I'm actually heading slightly up to where I'm looking at the moment. So I'm going in a kind of a top right direction to where I'm looking. And as I move forward, it will start to align to where I am. That means that if I'm moving in this direction, even though I'm looking in this direction, I'm still moving towards those icons that you can see here. And so that's what you want to look at. And you can see I'm starting to move. So I'll always make sure those icons are just offset. So I'm not aiming directly at Port Tresla. The reason for that is I don't want to crash into it. I don't want to be moving so fast that I crash into this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get close enough. And once we get here, it's going to ask us to request landing. So we're going to Alt and N. And it's going to tell us we need to go into Hangar 4. So again, making sure we don't crash, because that's key here. What we're going to do is we're going to head just around the outside here. Mouse wheel down so we're moving a little bit slower. And we're going to start to move towards... Now again, it's really weird to do this with a mouse and keyboard. I haven't done this for a long time. But I haven't set up any of the controls in the test universe. Alright, so what we're looking for at the moment is where we're going to land. Okay, and it's telling us that we're going to land over here. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to... I believe... Yep, going to head this way. Now it can be very dark and you might struggle to see, so you just need to bear that in mind. Especially if we start to get a little bit closer. So it's telling us exactly where we need to land. But again, you might not be able to see it. It might be a bit dark. So we're going to come up here. There we go. You can see these landing ports. All right, now these are not the ones we want. We actually need to come over to the other side here. To where these docks are. And we're going to put our landing gear down. And we're going to spin around. And there we go. There it is. All right, so now we can see it. Now again, it's very dark. You want to be going very slow. And with the landing gear down, our limit is now 30 in our speed. So we can come on a nice, gentle approach. We're going to drive. Now, some of them you will go in from the top down. Some of them you'll fly into. And you'll get used to it. Different planets, different space stations. They're kind of set out differently. And depending if you've got the sun in your favour against you, you know, if there is no sun, that also makes a big difference to your visibility. So we're just going to come into here. And we're going to strafe down. So you can play this on a keyboard and mouse, but I'll be honest with you, it's much, much better and it's more enjoyable with joysticks. Alright, so now what we're going to do is going to make sure we toggle off the engines. You always want to make sure you toggle off the engines or the power. We're going to jump out of our ship at the moment, so we do that by standing up. Stand up by pressing Y. Come to the back of our ship, and we're going to open it up. So press F. That'll open up the back. And here we are. We're on a space station. How cool is that? Alright, so from the space station, the next thing that we're going to want to do is head towards the landing bay here. So we can leave it as it is. Hopefully no one's going to come in here and steal anything from us. Should be fine. We can come out here. We can head down. Now, people can get here, so you do need to bear in mind that anyone can come up and come to this bay until we've stored our ship. So we're going to go to the lobby. Always a good habit when you get out of a ship to close it behind you. You should get into the habit of doing that. We're going to come to here, and these are the fleet terminals. So now we come up to the fleet manager. We click it. And now we're going to click on store. And this is going to store our... So our ship is now in storage at Port Tresla. Okay, very important to do that. So now it's going to tell us to check our journal. So we're going to press F1. We're going to go to our journal. Alright. So that was the first one. This is how we can do our shopping. It tells us what to do. So it's very important we understand this. So the universe of Star Citizen has many unique pieces of equipment and clothing for you to use. These items may be looted from adversaries, but can also be purchased from numerous stores around the verse. Specialised stores at major landing zones tend to have the necessary stock to cover your basic needs, whereas quieter areas might have unique variants or niche equipment. To buy an item on display, approach it and ask an information box will appear. You can also browse items on the shopping kiosks. Whilst those kiosks are not as hands-on, it's easier to buy goods in volume through the kiosk interface. Kiosks also give you the option to choose where the items will be delivered, either to your local storage or directly to your personal inventory. To sell an item, first make sure that it's in your personal inventory or local storage, or you're on a cargo on a vehicle that is stored at that location. You can then interact with a shopping kiosk, click the sell tab, given the option to select the items you wish, but not all stores will purchase all items. Personal inventory. Your personal inventory is the storage on your character. You can use this screen to arrange your items, transferring them between your personal inventory and local storage, or equipping them to your character. Take note that certain items have requirements for when they can be equipped, such as armor, which needs to be placed on an undersuit. All inventories have a capacity bar near the top that indicates how much they can store. Local storage. Your local storage is unique to the current zone you are in. For example, if you're on Microtech, you will no longer have access to your Area 18 storage. While local storages are significantly larger than personal inventories, they still have a maximum capacity. As you accumulate a high number of items, you can use the tabs at the top of the local inventory to filter through the specific categories. So every planet, every moon, every location. So if I go out to a specific location, let's say I go to a mining facility on a planet, every mining facility will have its own localized storage. And when you leave that area, you leave that localized storage. And this is changing in the next patch. Localized storage is going to start changing. You're going to have your hangars. It's going to be much more physical, where you'll have to go and deposit and retrieve your storage. You're not just going to be able to dump it into a local storage. So this is going to change. Just bear that in mind. Vehicles also have their own storage capacity. The inventory is not shared with any other player on board, and it remains accessible to you while you're on board the vehicle, or while that vehicle is parked at your current landing zone. Losing items. Remember, when you get into a dangerous situation out in the verse, you risk losing your items. Things in your personal inventory at the time of death will remain on your corpse and will need to be retrieved. The same is true when a vehicle is destroyed. There is a chance that another player might find it and claim your items before you can. Anything in storage at a major city or landing zone is safe regardless of what happens to you or your vehicles. Good to know. Interaction mode. The universe of Star Citizen is a dynamic place, providing players with the ability to interact with much of the environment around them. The foundation of this ability is the game's interaction mode. If you're in range of an interactive object like a door, food, or anything like that, a prompt will appear above it. If you hold the interaction, a pop-up menu will appear, allowing additional interactions. When interacting with an interface, you can scroll through the list of available options on the display. For example, you can scroll through the list of floor options while interacting with an elevator panel. All manners of interactions. You may prefer to use different keybinds to view all current keybinds or adjust them. Just use keybinds in the options menu. And the last one here is traversing the verse. Congratulations, you've completed the Star Citizen tutorial. You are ready to explore the universe. Now it's up to you to decide what your life in space will be like. The Contracts app on your mobiglass allows you many different opportunities for you to pursue the simple delivery missions to the dangerous criminal jobs. Work hard and you can build your reputation with different organisations to gain access to more rewarding contracts. Whether you choose to live a life of crime or hunt down bounties and enforce the law, it is up to you. However, if you'd rather forge your own path, feel free to use the map in the mobiglass and explore all of Stanton's system has to offer. From the snowy wastelands of Microtech to the floating city on Orison, there is so much for you to learn and discover. If you ever need further assistance, you can seek the guidance of experienced players through the guide system on the Spectrum or the Robert Space Industries website. Read the helpful post online knowledge base or ask for a helping hand in chat, or you could be watching this YouTube video. Your journal is also a valuable resource containing entries that summarize and elaborate on everything covered in the tutorial. But once you've ventured beyond the major cities and space stations, take care. Outside of these protected armistice zones, you will encounter many dangers in your search for profit. Wherever your next step takes you, safe flying. And remember, practice makes perfect. If you're interested in practicing in flying mode or experiencing combat without risking your ships, go into the arcade mode known as Arena Commander. Your mobiglass's personal computer features a variety of functions and apps essential to live in the verse. Below is a list of all the apps in the order they appear. And this talks to you all about the stuff that we've talked about and what you can do. Alright, so we pretty much covered the tutorial in this video. We've gone through the basics. There's one thing we need to do whilst we're at Port Tresla, and that is go and find a medical centre. This is the first thing that you should do on any wipe. Come out to the space station of wherever your primary residence is and look for the insurance. So here's the insurance, and this is the regeneration, and if I click use on this panel, I can now set this as my, I can transfer my imprint. So this is going to transfer my imprint from my regeneration location, which is New Babbage, to here, which is now Port Tresla. So now Port Tresla is my regeneration. So if I die, for example, I will regenerate here. Alright, so we're good to go. Now, if we look at our inventory, our local inventory, we have nothing. We have nothing. The local inventory, the other stuff that was at New Babbage is still there. We've left it there. We have nothing with us. We have no money. We just literally have our spacesuit. And this is where our adventure is going to begin. So what we're going to do now is we're going to end this video. This was just a tutorial, and it was really key for you to understand. I'm going to head over to the fleet manager just one last time, because now that we've completed the tutorial, if I click on this, you're going to now see our ships. So you can see here I have the RSI Aurora MR, the Origin 315P, and my hover quad. Now I don't want any of those at the moment, but I wanted you to see that this is how it starts. Now you will not have access to the Origin 315P if you haven't upgraded. And also, a lot of you won't have access to the hover quad. That was a referral bonus that I acquired. So you will only, if you've gone for the cheapest option to get into this game, you will only have access to the RSI Aurora MR. And so that is what we are going to do. We are going to deliver it. We are going to request it. And it is now here. We can now retrieve it. Okay, the other two we are going to leave and not use. We're going to assume we don't have them. And for the purpose of this first video, we're done. So we're going to end it here. Thank you very much for watching the tutorial. You need to do the same things. You need to be able to get into your ship. You need to be able to head up to a space station. And you need to be able to regenerate or set your regeneration point in the medical center. That's it. Join us in the next video where we're going to start some contracts and we're going to make some money. Thanks very much for watching. I'll speak to you soon.